Hello, everybody. This is Shania Jetli. I'm a student of Master's Sociology, and I'm going to present my paper on graffiti, a resistance art, for the course of Intellectual History in South Asia, Women Thinking the World. When we say graffiti, the first thing which comes to our mind is something scribbled on a wall. While that's right, there are other essential notions that define graffiti. Graffiti is usually done on walls. Sometimes they have a message for the general public, and sometimes they are done for beautification of the walls. But also, graffiti in its original form is illegal. It is associated with gangs, vandals, and criminal activities. What we should not forget about graffiti is the notion of resistance, somewhere hidden in the history of graffiti, and how it has been a way of expressing resistance. Historically, graffiti is found in ancient times and resurfaced in 1960s in New York and in the same era in other parts of the world. It was also a part of many subcultures like hip hop, rap, and reggae cultures. So we need to study how the subcultures took the path of graffiti making to express themselves. We see graffiti in the form of signs, alphabets, doodles, and sometimes we overlook them by looking at it as defacement of the property and somehow ignore the art of expressing the self and the conceptual background of the art of graffiti, which was to express the resistance. The objective of this paper is to examine the relationship of resistance with the art of graffiti. It will study the historical use of graffiti in different political movements and cultures to understand the connection of concept of resistance. There are different meanings and types of graffiti, and this paper will examine and explain the meanings and the importance of context in graffiti. As discussed, amongst the various meanings and notions, this paper will be focusing on political graffiti, as in the graffiti that are done in political movements, especially the political movements in the University of Delhi, such as Ambedkar University Delhi and Jawaharlal Nehru University. The method for this research is the research method done for this paper is qualitative research, as this paper research requires much more than the countable analysis. A lot of interviews were taken of the graffiti artists, students who are involved in graffiti art, and the student unions, then primary and secondary literature that is done around graffiti and resistance in movements inside and outside university spaces around the world. In this paper, we also needed to document um, the graffiti in the university spaces we are working with for a better understanding and to get the aspects of symbolism and figures usually seen in graffiti art. The plan of the paper. Firstly, we are going to discuss the historical background of graffiti. The history is important to study the contemporary, the present times, and thus we will start the paper with what graffiti actually meant historically. Secondly, we will be discussing the transformation of graffiti from the historical time to the modern times, as in from the ancient Greek period of graffiti to the modern graffiti in the subways of New York. In all this, we won't be leaving behind the notion of resistance. The third part of the paper will focus on the role of graffiti in various political movements across the world, especially India, and also how the state or the establishment acts against graffiti. In all these movements, the focus of the fourth part will be on graffiti in university spaces, the interaction of students' resistance and graffiti, why graffiti is used as a medium of resistance in these spaces. Why and how I connected this to intellectual history is, as a student of this course, I realized intellectual history is about the history of ideas, thoughts, and knowledge. For me, graffiti is just a collection or archiving the historical ideas and the values of different cultures. By looking at the graffiti made in the Egyptian caves, we can understand what ideas they shared at that time. By looking at the graffiti in Rome and in Greece walls historically, we do get their political thoughts. Thus, I could connect my research on graffiti to my course of intellectual history. Uh, then, scholarship in this area. Sadar Lewson's Street Art, A Graffiti Revolution gives an elaborate research about graffiti and the roots of resistance in it. It also talks about the political movements and cultures which chose graffiti as the medium of expressing their ideas and opinions. This book is called Graffiti Revolution to give an idea about how graffiti worked as the revolutionary medium for many communities, cultures, and movements. The reason why this work is so significant in this area is because it has talked about every factor in detail. The art of graffiti in hip hop movements and culture, graffiti in the many resistance movements against wars and corruption done by the establishment of the given countries. Sedar explains that not everything painted on the wall is graffiti. Graffiti is a form of language and a symbolic expression of communicating the internal secrets of culture. The book by Sedar starts with a history of graffiti. He looks at graffiti throughout the world: Roman graffiti, ancient Greek graffiti, and the modern New York graffiti. He gives the credit to hip hop culture in spreading the art of graffiti throughout the world. He writes, one of the largest factors in the spread of graffiti writing around the world was the increasing popularity of hip hop culture. This was a metaphorical juggernaut that simply could not be ignored. The graffiti in the early 1980s was limited to a relatively smaller insider audience. Hooking up with a musical revolution that permeated every corner of the globe certainly had the effect of placing graffiti into the mainstream. The problem that faced early graffiti writers in Europe was how strict they should be in following the rules laid down by the American writer. Then we have the elaboration of the paper. The elaboration of the paper goes like: graffiti, the word has been derived from the Latin word graphio, which means writing, but in close association with design. The literal meaning of the word is to scratch. The other meaning given by the established dictionaries is to scribble, to spray paint on a wall. Other definitions mirror this description, highlighting that graffiti includes any unauthorized writing or drawing on a public surface. Interestingly, the word graffiti and graffiti art often share the same definition. Scholars have defined graffiti in their own terms. Graffiti to them means an expression of personal and public experiences. Graffiti can be understood as concrete manifestation of personal and communal ideologies which are usually visually striking, insistent, and provocative. Graffiti started gaining attention with the rise of tradition of gangs marking their territories in urban areas, and then the hip hop movement, which held graffiti really close to their movement. Although graffiti in its own terms got its popularity in urban times, it still existed in ancient times too. In ancient times in Rome and Greece, graffiti was used to write down protest poems and expression, also to mark brothels in some areas, and to express political discontentment with their concerned political establishment at that time. The images found in some Egyptian caves can show that graffiti has been there since a long time. Even these images showed some kind of resistance. The transformation of graffiti. The transformation of graffiti was drastic, or I would like to say, the emergence of the modern graffiti gave graffiti a whole new world. Yes, graffiti has existed throughout history. Counterculturalists beginning in the 1920s and soldiers during World War II drew humorous images to correspond with popular American terms. With time, the hip hop movement started, and graffiti showed the vibrancy and the radical ideas of the culture. It became an official visual tool of the genre. This also created tension amongst the genre as people started attacking the genre because of the use of graffiti. It was in these times that the debate of personal and public spaces started. Graffiti was already unsanctioned and unauthorized drawings. This time, the laws were different too. During the 1990s, hip hop movement to the moved to the mainstream and took graffiti art with it. Popular videos also featured graffiti covered urban backdrops. Hip hop journalism emerged. The editors wanted graffiti, the visual language of hip hop, to grace the covers of their magazines. Musical artists, networks, and sports teams hired young graffiti outlaws to design for their products. Mainstream legitimization of graffiti art attracted commentators. The question of vandalism and graffiti as an art form has provoked endless controversy, raising such questions as whether vandalism can be considered art or whether graffiti can be considered graffiti if they are made legally, and fine artists who sought to further legitimize the burgeoning art form. Artists such as Roger Gassman, Banksy, and Salem Nealon moved from subway walls to the walls of galleries and private collectors in the USA. This shows that graffiti was there to express the vibrancy, the colorful expression of the subculture in the modern times. The role of graffiti in various political movements and the action of the state against graffiti. Jeff Farrell has shown how graffiti has been a symbol of resistance across countries and movements and how it has established itself as a media through which resistance is expressed. Farid Samir Benvidis Venegas has written in his From Santander to Camilo and Shea, Graffiti and Resistance in Contemporary Colombia. Farrell explores the export of graffiti from the US around the world and its use as a part of the imaginaries of resistance. He also shows that graffiti can constitute a way of resistance to imperialism by appealing to icons that are recognized unambiguously as revolutionaries. In Nicaragua, for instance, the image of Sandino was used to express rejection to Somoza's dictatorship and to protest against US imperialism in Nicaragua. Through wall painting, Nicaraguans engaged in revolution of the walls. That is the very act of wall painting was conceived as part of the strategies of resistance to an oppressive regime. Yet graffiti can also show the ambiguities of globalization. Farrell's analysis of wall painting in the former Soviet Union shows how American-like graffiti could be perceived as cultural imperialism in Russia, an important part of the subculture resistance. Closer home in India, in recent events, many students and protesters have resorted to asserting their freedom through the mode of graffiti to protest against the much controversial CAA, NPR, or NRC bill. In recent times, particularly in places like Syria and Iraq, where there is no semblance of law and order, and there is explicit subversion of human rights, artists are expressing that civil rights are important and need to be upheld through graffiti only. Government often take to erasing such form of dissent through repainting over graffiti, but graffiti, being a fairly cheap and convenient form of protest, remains ubiquitous in selected spaces. The action of the state against graffiti can be seen here in our country. During the protests, there were many graffiti near Jamia University and Shaheen Bagh. The government found the time in lockdown due to coronavirus and brushed paint over all the graffiti. Their major concern in the dire times was still to remove the graffiti. Graffiti are usually made by the anonymous artist who do not have a record and can't be caught. The only action then by the state is to erase the graffiti or warn the graffiti artists. Graffiti in university spaces. Um, in the book What Politics, Youth and Political Engagement in Africa, Zenebe, in this chapter, Taking the Forbidden Space, Graffiti and Resistance in Adults, Alaba University, Ethiopia, explains that graffiti art has been considered effective in communicating the common vision of politics, and the youth chooses graffiti because it is a common ground where they come together and talk to each other. It brings them together as members of a local and global communities. The chapter by Zenebe also examines the question of resisting authority in the university spaces and the concerns raised by the student like sexuality, the Ethiopian history and the politics. Students also keep their identities hidden to resist the authorities. In university spaces that we chose, Jawaharlal Nehru University and Ambedkar University, graffiti does take a lot of space. In Jawaharlal Nehru University, graffiti is used to express the political opinion of the students and also explains the general student culture of the university. During the times of election in this university, all the details and information are given through the art of graffiti. In Ambedkar University, graffiti has played an important role and is given the same importance. There are different walls that are given to different issues in this campus. As students call it, Azadi Wall is about freedom of sexuality and the freedom to be yourself. The campus has a gender studies wall too, which talks about smashing the patriarchy. In conclusion, we have studied and examined the various notions that revolve around graffiti and resistance. The historical background helped us in going further with our study of the idea of resistance in graffiti. It showed us that graffiti as a tool of resistance existed for the longest time and only transformed to the modern times graffiti. It gave us a sense of what graffiti meant for the countercultures and the subgroups who had graffiti as a support to express themselves, to express their resistance to the controlling culture and power. The graffiti used in the political movements have the similar idea but with a more revolutionary idea of resistance. Through the paper, we also realized that graffiti sometimes acts like a publisher of those who are not given the podium to talk about their issues or their ideas. In political movements, also, the idea was to have a platform which is easy, visible, and has more interaction with the public space. It resonates with the idea that personal is political, and even in the university spaces, the research showed that students have used graffiti as a historical method to resist against the administration or the ideas that demean their beliefs. To support this paper, I have cited Sadar Lucen, Shafland, H. Riyad, The Graffiti Revolution. His book is Graffiti Revolution. And then I have used Benavides Venegas' chapter from the Santander to Camilo and Che, Graffiti and Resistance in Contemporary Colombia. Then I have used Zenebe's Taking the Forbidden Space, Graffiti and Resistance in Addis Ababa University. Then we have White Ashantis From Primitive to Integral, The Evolution of Graffiti Art, California Institute of Integral Studies. Thank you so much.